breaking sports news just in from the Jake Asman Show. Well, not breaking as much as, folks, this shit's been going on for quite some time. See, at the close of the 2023 NFL season, the concern for the fans of the New York Jets shifted to the upcoming draft. The great Jake Asman fielded non-stop calls searching for the best options that the team could bring in to help break the curse. One of Jake's regular callers, Lane Kerner, also known as the Lane Train, joined the show to offer his take on who the Jets should draft.
Lane, what's up, Lane Kerner?
Jake, my brother. Do you have any other ideas about what you do now because the season's over?
I hope they draft really good players that help the Jets win.
I'm hearing that they might get, was it KANOBLE? Yeah. I see him going.
Wait,
I don't know.
Lane, who's KANOBLE?
The guy that the guy that was in college?
Well, a lot of these draft prospects were in college, so I'm trying to figure out who you're referring to. What position does KANOBLE play?
Was he, because I think he plays in one of the college and stuff.
I don't know who KANOBLE is.
Yeah, KANOBLE. I forgot his last name. I would have to look it up.
All right.
And okay, thank you for taking my call.
Who's KANOBLE?
BJF, I'm gonna need you to figure out who this KANOBLE guy is. You're more of a draft guy than I am.
KANOBLE at 10. He's bust proof. Lane shouldn't get to announce. He should get to announce the draft pick. And no matter who they pick, he should say we took KANOBLE.
That was a top 3 Lane call ever. You're welcome, Gator. I can't wait to see what you do with that one. I don't know who he's talking about, but maybe we'll figure it out.
As days passed, Jake, along with many of his confused listeners, worked tirelessly to find out more about this player, KANOBLE, who Lane had evaluated as a potential pickup in April's draft. So, needless to say, Jake was excited to see Lane return to the show.
Zach Wilson is not going to come back. Why don't you think he's going to sign still with the Jets? Is it because he's not good?
He stinks.
Oh, stinks? Yeah, same feeling.
The guy is terrible.
I said announce the draft picks.
Lane, I want you to announce a Jets pick. That would make my
Yeah,
life.
I mean, who am I going to pick, though, for the draft? On the 2022 draft pick, the pick goes to KANOBLE out of college. Then they tell you who the players are from, and their families get excited. You sign him, he should be good going into week 1. Yeah, I know a lot of the football.
That was amazing. I love you, Lane. You're the best. What a draft pick.
Not all of Jake's callers were high on Lane's evaluation of KANOBLE. Another regular, the great Charles Gorman, wasn't so sure that Lane's selection was right for his favorite team.
I think Lane Train's an idiot. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
What do you mean he's an idiot?
He's making stuff up. Who's KANOBLE? I looked him up on the internet and he's not there.
He is. He went to college.
Guys, stop it. Seriously, I know the bullshit coming out of your mouth. It's bullshit.
Charles, I don't like your tone.
Here,
Charles.
how do you spell KANOBLE?
Charles, I don't need to dignify your nonsense. See you later. Get out of here. How do you spell KANOBLE? Doesn't matter how to spell KANOBLE. All that matters is he's one of the great prospects we've ever seen. More of your calls right now. Let's go to Jake Klein. What's up, Jake?
Well, actually, first off, for 1 second, who's KANOBLE?
No, he's a phenomenal prospect for the New York Jets.
I tried Googling it, said like amusement park things. I was like, okay, I don't know.
No, he played at college.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll Google it another time, but
See you later. Jake, thanks for the time. Charles writes in, I'm pissed because of the stupidity this show has succumbed to. Hello, Charles.
Enough with the stupidity. I understand this Lane Train guy may be a nice guy, but does he even know what he's talking about? I've been looking this Kenoby guy nonstop. Here, I'll share my screen with you. I know you're laughing, Jake.
Yeah, I'm laughing.
KANOBLE.
Type in KANOBLE out of college. It comes right up. It's like the first search. Type it in.
I am out of college. There's no such thing as him.
You believe everything you see on the internet? You're telling me your Google is accurate right now?
Yes, it is accurate.
How is it possible, Charles, if KANOBLE's not real, that Gator was able to put together an entire draft profile?
KANOBLE FP football player from college. He is 5'7", 109.8 LBS, prospect grade 0.0, production score 69, and an athletic score of 007. He's very good, gets flag penalties, but he's very, very good, and I'm very good at this, taking football players.
You're defending Lane Train. That's what you're doing.
He played for the Rhinos. You just saw it.
Jake, if you want to lose a subscriber, stop right now.
Charles, I will take Lane Train over anybody. So if you're going to unsubscribe to my channel over Lane Train, then you know what? You got to do what you got to do.
Stop defending Lane Train.
Charles.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, Jake. How about stop lying to yourself, stop lying to these people, and actually say the truth? I'm on your Discord, and one guy called Frankie Castle agrees with me.
Charles, I'll just keep playing Lane Train Sounders if you keep slandering the man.
I'm not slandering the man. I'm telling him. But you know what? I'm not in the mood right now. Goodbye.
Charles, thank you for the time. Well, people, are you Team Lane or Team Charles?
So when he was calling, he was so frustrated. And he's like, Jake, I'm Googling it right now. And Jake, he's just following the kind of, the line, how ridiculous can we go? And Jake goes, are you really going to trust your search engine over what we're saying?
With Charles clearly unhinged about Lane's research, it was time for the great Lane Train to defend himself.
The two for this draft coming up, who do you take going into the 10th round for the draft? Do you take Brian, or do you want to take, there's a lot of different players. Who do you think?
Who's Brian?
Yeah, the guy that he drafted. Brian, what's his last name? Brian, you know?
What's Brian's last name? Do you know?
I forgot. There's a lot of other ideas. So who do you see going to the Jets in the 10th round, in the first round?
I really want them to take KANOBLE, and you brought him up a couple times.
Yeah, I know. But what happens if they don't get him? Then what do you do? Do you maybe go after somebody else?
Great point. Lane, thank you for the call. I hope you had a good Sunday.
You too. Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Charles's head is spinning after that call. Chugga, 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 choo, choo.
Now, the staff here at Gator Sports worked
Are you an idiot?
tirelessly to track down this NFL prospect KANOBLE, and as usual, we didn't stop until the coveted player called into the show.
We go live to KANOBLE. KANOBLE, thanks for joining the show. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Jake. Thanks for having me on the TubeU show. Happy to be here, man.
So before we do anything, can you clarify just the proper spelling of your name?
My name? Well, it's Kenoby, but I lost my birth certificate and they spelled it wrong on my application to college. You could spell it with an E or an A or a C or a K. It's all dope all the time, bro.
Where are you from? Your fans are not really familiar with you.
I'm from Niue, a small island near Hawaii. We got like 350 people living here, and 37 of them are my relatives. We got one university, and our football team has 13 players, which is great because we get to play offense and defense.
Wow. All right. So, obviously you really have risen up draft rankings because the Lane Train has hyped you up and you have massive expectations on you now from a lot of Jet fans out there. How do you handle, all the hoopla, all the expectations that surround you?
Damn, bro. I owe that guy my life. A few weeks ago, I was working in my uncle's macadamia nut farm, and now I'm visiting NFL teams all over the country. They say in Google searches I'm the third most searched for name next to Diddy and Zach Wilson's mom.
Wow. When did you realize you were a special talent, Kenoby? When did this happen?
Well, I ran circles around my teammates, but in 2 years, we haven't won a game here. Honestly, my coach calls me a useless wet bag of shit. Not sure what that means, but I guess I'm good enough to enter the draft.
All right. On that note, what would it mean to you to play for a team like the Jets, play in front of a guy like Lane Train and so many diehard Jet fans?
Man, that would be crazy. I would be a weapon for that team because I can play any position. One time I caught my own pass, scored, and then kicked the extra point. Making the Lane Train proud is all I'm about, Mr. Jake. Choo-choo! Mother effing choo! Peace out, bitch.
Knoble, thank you for the time. All right. Well, I didn't think we'd get him, but shout out to Knoble for coming on the show. Did you see the interview we did with Knoble yesterday when he called in?
No, I did not.
Charles, thank you for the time today.
Now, that was an enormous amount of information there for Charles to absorb. At this point, the fan base had no choice but to accept the fact that Knoble was the real deal. Local New York radio stations started taking calls asking about the player that seemed to be stacked with unique skills that make him impossible to ignore.
All right, let's go back to Bob in Vermont.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think the Jets and Giants will do on the draft, your choices? And also, do you ever hear of a player from college called KANOBLE?
Kenoby? From what school?
College.
Yeah, but what college?
It's just college. Do you ever hear that guy's name?
No, I've never heard of Kenoby from college. Kenobo from college? What position does he play?
He plays offense and defense.
He plays offense and defense? He's a two-way guy?
Yep, that's what he said.
How do you spell the last name?
Kenoble. I can't remember how you spell it. It starts with K, I know that.
Okay, because I'm spelling it wrong on Google.
No, Kenoble.
Thanks for the call, Bob. I do not know who Kenobo is. Maybe somebody listening knows of a player, a two-way player coming out of college that gives you like 300 options. I'm looking at Zoo. He's just laughing. I'm trying to find out. A two-way player plays offense and defense. Kenobo is coming.
Do you ever hear of Kenoble?
There were two listeners of mine who called WFAN asking two separate hosts if the Jets should take Knoble, and each host was like, just they were stumped. They're like, I haven't done enough draft prep. I'm unaware, and they're reciting lines from the show.
John and Seaford, what's up, bud?
A lot of these Jet fans out there want Brock Bowers.
Yes, that is the sexy name surrounding the Jets.
I think the three options you go: O-line, receiver, or if Knoble out of college is there, you got to take Knoble. 5'7", 198, plays both sides of the ball. Not sure if you know him. Mel Kiper had him top 15 pick. What are your thoughts on Knoble?
I don't know him that well. I'll be totally honest with you. Bro, I got to do more draft prep. You said he plays both sides of the ball. Makes me think, who plays both sides of the ball in the NFL?
Even the great Charles Gorman connected with the legend Knoble on his very own podcast, The Charles Gorman Show.
Who the fuck do you think you are, Charles? I'm the Kenoby, and I'm playing for the Jets next year. You better get used to it, motherfucker, because I'm coming to get you. I'm just kidding, Charles. I love you, man. You're the greatest. I just want to be your friend, okay? So, please do my friend. Motherfucker!
And it didn't stop there. Once the real data on Knoble became public knowledge, all of the local talk shows had no choice but to consider this great prospect.
We now have Knoble's testing numbers. There's a reason why Knoble has skyrocketed off the draft boards here. He has tremendous testing numbers. It's tremendous. The only knock on Knoble is he's 5'7", 198. But he's a two-way player. He can play both sides of the ball. And if you were listening to WFAN last night, it was Rob from Glenhead, not Johnny Quest impersonating Rob from Glenhead, called in to ask FAN host Keith McPherson if the Jets should consider this Knoble guy.
Let's go to Rob in Glenhead first up on the fan.
Well, yeah, I'm out right now. My friend Neil Chipotle just chilling out, talking Jets, smoking cigars. I was listening yesterday to your show. The guy Bobby from Vermont called up about this guy Knoble. Yeah, I think I found out who he was talking about.
Okay, what college? What school?
I didn't get that, but there was an NFL Network did a spotlight on him. Neil, look up the college this kid went to. So it's pronounced Knoble when he was in an island, but then they changed to Knoble when he came over. They were talking about. I think his brother was a 7th round pick in like 2022. Dude, the kid. I don't know if he's going to go in the first round, but he plays receiver and nickel corner. His stats are crazy.
Do you know how to spell his last name? I have not heard of this kid.
Knoble. Neil, look it up.
I can't spell shit.
40-yard dash, 4.3. Cone drill, 6.41. I don't even know if that's good. You know, you're an athlete. Is that good?
I guess 6.41. It could be faster.
Vertical, 47.
No, that's ridiculous.
The fact is this: if you're getting a receiver and a nickel, if he plays receiver, we need a receiver, right? Because Lazard's terrible. And if he's nickel corner, we have Michael Carter, who I think is going to be a free agent next year. You can't afford him, so you replace him.
I don't know, but that's what confused me yesterday. We're talking about a two-way player getting drafted and expected to play both ways?
Yeah, dude, I never heard of it, so I saw it on the NFL Network, and then when Bobby was talking about it, I'm like, that sounds familiar. I looked it up. The crazy thing, he's from like some small island near Hawaii. They have like 350 kids. It was like 13 kids on his high school team. That's why he went both ways. I know most times in New York and New Jersey, everyone goes both ways.
In high school, yeah, but in college, that's why I'm like, I haven't been watching NFL Network.
If they can get this kid in the first, I don't think he's going to fall to 10, and maybe the Giants, maybe the Cowboys get him. Where are the Cowboys picking?
24, they're
He'll
cooked.
probably be gone by then.
Do you know the spelling of his name?
Oh, Neil, you got that name?
Yeah,
You
here
got
it
it.
is.
K-A-N-O-B-L-E.
Yep.
I'm going to hang up and listen, Keith. Be good, all right?
Yeah, thanks for the call. So we were talking last night. Yeah, Bob from Vermont called in, was talking about this kid, and I never heard of him. KANOBLE NFL draft? Nah, you guys got to be trolling me. This is like the tale of like, I don't know, like a Bigfoot or something. Like this is a two-way player that plays wide receiver, nickel corner. He's got a 47-inch vertical. I haven't heard of the guy, but I don't think two different calls would call about this KANOBLE guy.
How did you hold it together, man? I'm dying. My ribs hurt from laughing at that.
I was just pacing back and forth, trying to get as much shit out as I could, dude. That green cone, the 6.4 one, I had no clue if that was good. That's why I asked him. Meanwhile, I looked it up after. That's a really good time. He's like, oh, we could be better than that. 47 vertical is ridiculous. My son was like, Dad, 47? I'm like, I don't know. I just made it up. Like, he kind of almost like, he's like, oh, it's fake. But he's like, no, it's got to be real.
And I'm getting like listeners like tweeting me graphics of like KANOBLE in a Jets jersey being like 1 week from today.
Look at this tweet that I just got from BR, who's a great listener to our show. This man has a KANOBLE shirt. He just tweeted me, here's hoping KANOBLE gets drafted by the New York Jets with the last pick.
Social media exploded with the mystery and legend of KANOBLE like these. What are your thoughts on KANOBLE from college? KANOBLE no matter what. We want to hear why JD decided to pass on drafting KANOBLE out of college. I've been hearing about this player KANOBLE out of college on WFAN. Supposedly, he plays both sides of the ball and the Giants are interested. Wow! KANOBLE took my sister out on a date and had her home by 9. Absolute gentleman. This one to Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets. I wonder how KANOBLE will look in this uniform. And dreaming of KANOBLE at 10 next Thursday. I mean, it's endless.
Can we give a huge shout out to listener Will Collins, who made it to Detroit with a KANOBLE sign, baby. Draft KANOBLE out of college, 5'7", 198, two-way player. KANOBLE fever has hit Detroit. KANOBLE at 10.
Bobby, good morning. How are you?
First, the Jets, okay? I wanted to see what you think about the Jets draft choice, and I got a choice that you might wanted to hear from. Like KANOBLE from college, he's supposed to be good. He plays both ways. He's from college. Do you ever hear of the guy?
Bob, you know what? I got to be honest with you, and I thank you for the phone call. There's a lot of guys who play in college. I'm not familiar with that name that you threw out there, to be quite honest with you. You guys know who he was talking about? Because it totally escaped my mind. The two-way prospect playing Ironman football, which, you know, like I said, not too familiar with there.
So on the day of the NFL draft, the man who started this phenomenon, Lane Kerner, called back into the show with even more ideas on who the Jets should consider.
Now, I have some stuff, though. BLU-RAY, do you see him going, or do you see KANOBLE going? Because I think he has a chance to get drafted tomorrow. You have BLU-RAY. The Jets drafted somebody tonight also.
But who's BLU-RAY?
He's out of college. You could draft him. Joe Sane. Who else is on? Yeah, Robert Scott. Yeah, I took a nap. I should have put a picture of me on there with my head on the pillow.
Brilliant. Just brilliant. These ideas to consider. As the draft continued, the calls kept flooding the switchboards at all the local radio stations.
Hey, Moose, I heard about this player called KANOBLE from college. Do you ever hear KANOBLE from college?
No, who's that?
His name is KANOBLE. He plays both ways from college.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
You never heard of KANOBLE?
No.
3 days and 257 picks later, none of the 32 NFL teams selected the great KANOBLE. Conspiracy theorists had their thoughts on this, but ultimately it was best to hear from KANOBLE himself.
It's been tough to track this guy down, but we finally got him on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline right now. So let's bring on KANOBLE. KANOBLE, what is going on? Where have you been? Who are you with? What's going on?
Hey, Mr. Jake, this is my girl, Melanoma.
It's Melanie, you dick.
Right, Melanoma. And she's not my hostage. I'm just saying.
KANOBLE, wow. All right. You didn't get drafted. What do you think happened? Did any teams seem interested? Have you spoken with any teams since you became officially an undrafted player?
Not good, Jake. They found out I lied on my application about my weight. Not that I lied, I just was a number off is all. Amazing how that one number in front of 97 would matter so much.
Help me.
KANOBLE, I mean, it wasn't just the weight, like, and also, where are you off to right now?
Mr. Jake, I ran out of money and I gotta get back to my job at the macadamia nut farm because my uncle's gonna notice I'm gone. Last time I missed work, he made me put a huge pineapple in my pants and it ripped my junk. Something fierce.
Call the police.
KANOBLE, who's this Melody person? What's going on?
She's good, Mr. Jake. I'll let her go as soon as I hit the water.
KANOBLE, I'm not sure what you're doing right now is legal. Pull over, let this girl go. She seems like she's really upset.
He's going to kill me.
It's all right, Mr. Jake. She loves hanging out with me. Told her I'm gonna be famous. Gonna play for the New York...
Oh my God. Holy... KANOBLE! Folks, KANOBLE might have just passed away live on the air. Might be a murderer. Might have just died. First ever two-way player we've seen from college. And just like that, the KANOBLE story might have ended.
Just tragic. I mean, I'm speechless. I'm sorry. That's more than I can even handle right now.
I'm in shock. There's only one person I could go to right now that hopefully could talk some sense into us. Hopefully has some answers. Please, Lane Train, please help us. Lane, what did you think of KANOBLE there? What do you know?
I don't even know if that was KANOBLE. Looked like a stick figure with a girlfriend or just a hitchhiker from a movie. And then he crashed into the house. I don't know if he's dead. I think he maybe went to the hospital. But on the other hand, I just can't believe that KANOBLE did not get picked up by the Jets. Why do you think they did not sign him?
I think as we learned in that interview there might have been some character concerns, a lot more severe than what we even realized.
Yeah. I mean, but
the guy might be a murderer, Lane.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so hopefully, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Your time. Man, I'm still shaken up by the KANOBLE stuff, but Lane says maybe he's in the hospital and not dead, so maybe there's some hope.
A rumor of KANOBLE's death hit the New York radio stations as fans awaited the news.
Jake and Syosset. What's up, Jake?
T-Mac, in the past week, 2 NFL prospects actually passed away. I just want to reach out to them. A.J. Simon from the University of Albany, and also another player. He's actually a connection with me. My brother, Charlie, he went to school with his mother at culinary school. She's like renowned for her chicken noodle soup. Lane trained KANOBLE at college. I just want to send my respects, my love to his mother, who I know well. And they set up a GoFundMe page at GoFundMe.com/KANOBLE at 10. T-Mac, I love you, and take care.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's this KANOBLE thing. That was a Jet Twitter thing, right? Is that someone tried to give me this KANOBLE thing? He was a prospect that I expected the Jets to draft and stuff. You know, so I don't know if KANOBLE's real.
C-Mac, the disrespect. Obviously, KANOBLE's real. He just called into the show and died on the air. How insensitive could you be?
Well, with the fan base in absolute shock, it was only a matter of time before we got the news on KANOBLE's face.
I did receive an alternate angle of the accident that involved KANOBLE. This was on the local news last night.
Incredible video. That driver was speeding through this neighborhood and wound up launching his car into a home in Harupa Valley late yesterday afternoon. The passenger, a woman in her 20s, escaped the crash with minor to moderate injuries, but the driver, a highly sought-after prospect in the NFL, was found dead at the scene.
Wow, incredible stuff there.
It's very sad, obviously. So R.I.P. KANOBLE, but at least, you know, his girlfriend seemingly
or not even his girlfriend. I mean, the woman he held captive seemingly is okay, which explains why he went undrafted. We knew there were some character concerns. We didn't know that he was, a kidnapper. Very tough to handle. Obviously, thoughts are with everyone involved at this time.
Choo choo, mama effing choo. Peace out, bitch.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to get notified about new videos right here on the Gator McKlusky Sports Channel.